Good evening, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy and Justin to my right, and our special guest tonight, who is Donnie. Donnie Simmons is from Jack Wolf Knives, Ben's right-hand man. At the minute, he's taken over a lot of the stuff that Ben was killing Ben with time. And Donnie and his wife also works for them in the office, I believe. But yeah, it's great to have Donnie back on again. One that he had made one of those moves that not a lot of us do in our knives. We get up and move state. He actually moved state to come and work for Ben, and it's not something over here people do a lot.
Well, I mean, especially in America, we're moving state is akin to moving to a different country in many ways. So, in terms of distance, as opposed to in terms of
we can get anywhere on a donkey in a day.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're all really welcome, and we're both looking forward to the show. And we're going to keep it really light tonight. We've not any hidden agenda whatsoever, except that tomorrow night is the launch of this beautiful little article here. An absolutely stunning rendition from Jack Wolf. This is the Little Bro. And I'm going to say something that I said. I've done a wee video this afternoon. If you haven't watched it and you're just in from work, have a wee play at it tonight. Do you see? I'm trying to do something a wee bit different with the videos for the Jack Wolf Knives, because, there's the original one, which Justin has now. What was that? An S90V as well, was it?
No,
it was 390. I was trying to say in my video, you're choosing between M390 and S90V. How bad can it be in a pocket knife? It's just, you can't. So I have to say, the thing I love about this, which shocked me, is this cover material. This is Kieranite, and it's the blue waterfall Kieranite or something, I think it's called. But there's so much life in this knife. It just comes alive. When you take it out in the daylight, especially. You got the same one?
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Thank you, fellas, for having me. We appreciate it.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even say
No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you, guys. This is a real treat.
So I was trying to do in the video this afternoon, I was trying to do something a little bit different, because every month we're doing the same thing, and it's very hard to keep saying, this is wonderful, this is gorgeous, great steel, great fit and finish. Because
especially when it's perfect every time.
But this is, and I've tried to put it in today, like, that has got to be the biggest thing about Jack Wolf Knives, is that, they're made in China. People moan about it. Tough luck. We couldn't get it at that price here, and you wouldn't get the same fit and finish and standard. But Ben has chosen an OEM who can constantly, every time, he keeps coming back with the same standard. There isn't that drop in standard. There might be a tiny wee thing that just didn't go right that much. That's knife. Every knife in the world has a little problem somewhere along the line. But so few in the knife, and just to keep saying, look at the fit and finish. This is lovely. It's great blade steel, and you just do it every month. So I'm going to try doing something different. Today, I sort of put it up against 6 other knives that are in that sort of jackknife family, and started with a budget one right up to the Jack Wolf knife, and then a custom one. So I tried to not compare it, but just to give you an idea of what you can get, because not everybody's going to afford them. And I can't keep saying, I'm sorry for you if you can't. That's flipping life. I mean, we can't all afford a Ferrari sitting at the front door. And this is the Ferrari of pocket knives to me. So, now I've got that off. Did I get that off my chest well?
Yeah, I'm going to ask Johnny then.
But you asked me a question. Don't be shy. You should have butted in.
Donnie.
Oh, I'll butt in. Don't worry.
Tell us something. First of all, I mean, not to undermine your value or anything in terms of your contribution to the podcast today, but why are you here? Where's Ben? What's up with Ben? Can we share that, or is it?
Yeah. No, it's totally fine. Ben had a little bit of a repair on his shoulder. I think it was actually his right shoulder.
It's funny. I noticed that in one of his videos. It was like his shoulder pad had slipped.
Okay,
it's Dynasty.
I know it's your show, but let the man
it's not my show. It's your show.
No, I think it's not an exciting story. No motorcycle racing accident. No. Bungee jumping accident or anything like that. I think he just had an old injury that kind of he needed to get handled, and it just kind of, it's nice with our schedule. We're really consistent with our announcements and our drops when things come in. We had a nice week here where he had that done. There's not a lot going on, and he just missed a few live streams with you.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Everybody will understand. He's worked his heart out to get this up and running. Before you got there, I do not know how he done that. I have no idea. I know I would have been in a mental asylum, definitely.
I mean, you guys were at a show last weekend, or was it the weekend before? Was it CCKS, or as I call it, Cox? I'm not sure why, but
it looks like it when you read it. You can't help it. You can't help it. But no, Ben. Yeah, that's where Ben was. He left last Thursday. He got back on Monday. He had his surgery on Tuesday.
Good grief.
He's crazy. The man's crazy. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. But you didn't get to go to the show, Donnie?
No, not this time. It just didn't work out with our schedule. We have a few little puppies here at home we have to take care of, and it just didn't work out. But we will be at all the Blade shows, all the major Blade shows. We had our first one for my wife and I in Blade West in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Beautiful city.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos people have done after they went to the show. They toured around outside and went up to the old lakes and all that. It was just looked beautiful.
Yeah. Excellent.
It really did look. It's quite high up too, isn't it?
Was it up in the Sierra Nevada or something in California, or was it?
It's the mountains there in Utah. I don't know exactly the range.
In Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, because I know a lot of the MMA fights have started having them there, and the boys have to get there a week early to get the altitude, get accustomed to it. So I think it's 6,000 feet or something. So it was quite high.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the knives. Donnie, would you have? I know we've seen the Kernite, little bro, but would you have one of the wooden handled ones there?
Yes, absolutely.
I've been watching the rosewood because the rose. Nice. Look at that.
Oh,
because we were just saying, I have the. What is it?
That's the laid back.
The laid back jack in the wood. And I was just saying that while it's gorgeous, you've really got the grain of the wood on these sites, and you've got such a variety in them this time around. It was unbelievable.
It has something to do with the finishing. Where with wood, it's a delicate matter. You're trying to get everything perfect, and there's polishing compounds, things that they're using, and I think both are nice, but I think you can see there's a little bit more. Luster, a little more polish, I think, on this.
Oh, look at that! Look at the striping on that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that is the difference, because I think the first one looked more like an ironwood sort of. It was tighter grained.
Yes.
And these ones are now there's that gap that gives you the coloration difference, which is lovely, I think.
And I wanted to show a few pictures here of the wood difference, because it's amazing. You get so much variety. We found some that were even like twins. They were
wow.
Just a different. There's a real red in that as well. That's amazing.
And you get some that are blonde, or some that are striped, some that are darker. Here's a set of twins. This was a darker set.
Oh, look at that. That's almost like snakewood. That pattern there.
Hard to see with the reflection there, but it was like almost a burl in there, and it was a matching set.
Beautiful
burl. So
yeah.
Am I right in saying that rosewood is now becoming very difficult to get?
I don't know about its difficulty. I know that we have looked into other woods out there too. We haven't. As far as getting these done, I think because they're just so small. I mean, this is nothing.
That's the big benefit.
Yeah, that's really.
You can imagine how many you can get out of a tree.
What's that?
You can imagine just how many you can get out of one tree.
Oh yeah.
Do you
quite a lot of them? Absolutely. And what's the response been to the little bro this time around?
Everyone's really excited. I mean, this is the first one we've ever done where, hey, we're dropping it this month. Ben spilt the beans, and we couldn't hold it out. Hold it in. We had this was the cursed knife. We had the blade wrap. We had an issue with our cover thickness. We had an entire batch of all our knives were cut to the wrong dimension.
No.
And so that set us back an entire month. And just after a while, it was like, okay, guys, we're doing it. This is when we're doing it. We're letting everybody know.
And to be honest with you, the first time it came out, the blade wrap wasn't in all of them. It must have been just off by millimeters, because I mean, personally, I'm a sharpener, so a bit of blade wrap happens quite often. More in custom makers as well, not just production. Custom makers don't check it well enough to get the blade. So it just, for me as a sharpener, it was easy. It would have been easy just to take it out anyway. It wouldn't have bothered me. But I can understand Ben, that perfectionist side of him, didn't want people who weren't sharpeners getting a high-end steel that they mightn't be able to sharpen. So yeah.
But it was also, as you were saying, it's that attention to detail and the quality standard that he insists on in terms of getting these things out. But it has tickled me, I think, the whole notion of the curse of the little bro. It is just really. I just, apart from anything else, it adds a little bit something extra to that kind of, the Jack Wolf, story. You know what I mean? It's just,
this would be a great picture for next year. It's Jack, little bro, with a wee devil on his shoulder. Would just be an ideal picture.
Absolutely.
I have to say now, I've been really pleased. It's back to Sean Tiffany. I really like his artwork. It's just so good.
Do you prefer it to the new guy?
Yeah, I have to be honest. I usually am. It usually gets me in trouble, but yeah. I mean, the new guy's fine, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it didn't seem to have that punch that Sean Tiffany had. I really do. You can just see, and of course, it probably costs a fortune to get Sean Tiffany to come and do that. He's not an unknown artist.
It is a special thing. I think we all kind of noticed the artwork, and I honestly don't think I've seen that anywhere else in any other knife brand.
No.
Slightly with GEC, you'll get artwork, but it's very, very tame artwork. It's usually in black and white in the center of the titty-utes, and not the titty-utes, in the Northfield.
Yes, the Northfield.
The Northfield ones. You get I like
unexcelled,
that. Yes, the unexcelled version.
Yeah.
So this is the only question I primed Donnie with is, we'd just like to ask, because those of us who are in before will want to know how you and the missus have settled in. Have you got somewhere permanent now? Are you enjoying it? Or are you ready to run?
We are. We actually moved out here in July, and if you know anything about Arizona, it is the worst time of the year to move. It was we were unloading our truck, and it was 117 degrees. 117.
I had a fight to get me out of the truck.
Yeah, no, but they're not proper degrees. That's 117 degrees Fahrenheit. That's only like 43 degrees Celsius. I mean, that makes it sound so much.
Whatever it is, it's around the temperature where skin starts to cook.
And you're obviously working too hard, because there's not much color on you at all. But the looks of things are.
No, it's all indoor work. We don't get a lot of sun.
Yeah, I mean, no, when you've got 100 degrees in the shade, you don't go in.
Tanning
is not something that you do.
I would only go out at nighttime.
Yeah.
Well, that whole month, the month of July, was a record month here in Phoenix. It was over 110 degrees for 30 days straight.
My goodness.
Yeah,
that must take some getting used to. You would just constantly feel drained when you're not used to it. It would just drain every part out of you.
I know.
It is a dry heat. You don't have a lot of humidity, is what they say, but we also say so is your oven. Your oven's
exactly. Yeah, that's what they always say when to make you feel better. It's a dry heat. It's a dry heat. Yeah, absolutely.
So have you got somewhere to live in all now?
Yeah, we have an apartment. We rented this place out sight unseen from Illinois before we moved out, and we didn't check it out beforehand. We just rented it, and we like it. Actually, we really like it, and the city is a really interesting place. A lot of interesting cultures and good food. And
what's the typical food like, or is it a complete blend of foods there? Is it Mexican food? Is it?
Yeah, there's a good blend, but you have a lot of great Mexican food.
I
like tacos.
Yeah.
He's just angling for a visit, Donnie, so I'd be careful if I were you. If you've got a spare room, forget about it.
I thought we could have gone over and done a shop tour.
Oh, well, definitely.
Oh,
I want to go both places.
I like the plan. The trouble is that I always end up doing the logistics, which is never a good idea.
Really hard and 3 and 6.
This is true.
Will you guys be making it out for any of the Blade shows this year by chance?
No, not that far. No, well, unfortunately, Donnie, like yourself, we've got dogs, kids, and partners and jobs to take care of. But
in all honesty, it's too expensive for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a pension. I don't have that sort of play money to go out for 3 days to America. And
It's too much.
Yeah,
but it's the one thing I would have loved to have done. But even more so, this show in England is really starting to take off that me and Justin went to this year, and I took a clatter of knives with me, the Jack Wolf knives, to the show, and we sat around the table and was getting them out and passing them around people who had never handled them, they'd just seen them, which was lovely to see people's reaction, because they would say, "Oh, give us your blooming rich knives over here," and as soon as they got them, it had, "Oh, that is it. Oh, you were right. That is it."
It was a good
and
reaction.
it was a really good reaction around the table. We had some crack, like,
it
was lovely.
But I think, and it's probably the same for you guys at the Blade shows and everything, although sort of ramped up the massive scale, is that it's just lovely to meet so many people. It's it's
how many was in ours? Was it 3? No, it was 700 or something.
Yeah,
was in for the day. There was 700 people in for the day.
I think we talked about 457.
Yeah, we talked to so many.
It was incredible. I mean, now some of the people that we met that we'd like to forget about. I mean, Slippy, I'd like to forget about.
They're in the comments.
Mikey Newman, for goodness sake, we can't get rid of him now, for crying out loud. He met us at the airport. He brought us back to the airport, and he thinks that gives him some kind of connection. I mean, what the hell? I mean, come on. So it's one of those things. We met Sean and any number of other people as well. It was fantastic. It really was great crack.
And for me, especially after doing YouTube for so long, to actually meet people that had followed me and done whatever, to meet them in face was just amazing. It actually blew my mind. It was one of those days. And I know it wasn't as big as, but it was cozy. Do you know what I mean? 700 wasn't, you weren't bumping shoulders as such. Mm-hmm. But they had about 60 tables, which I think is, quite good for a.
Oh, it was amazing. It was great. I mean, it's probably small potatoes compared to one of the bigger shows.
Look, it is, yeah.
But it was just lovely to get a taste of what that is, because we really don't get that,
But I'm hoping in years to come, because it had nearly doubled in size from the year before, which was nice. And I'm hoping next year they're going to have that many. It's going to double in size. Maybe it would interest Ben to send us over some knives to sell it, and we'd get a table up, because it would be a really cheap way for him, using me and Justin, to go there, set a table up, and sell knives. Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping we can do an international tour one day. I'm hoping
wouldn't that be great?
on a plane.
I'd love to see us all over here. It would just be amazing.
Oh, it'd be great. America isn't ready for Paddy and Jed.
That's Ghost. Yeah, cheers, Sean. Thanks very much. Yeah,
he's not wrong.
I never liked
him. He's not wrong.
Never liked him.
You're right.
RJ, look at this. RJ, for goodness sake, well done, big lad. Good to see you.
Paddy and Judd would want to stay, probably.
At your house, right? RJ, at your house.
Yeah.
That would
really are excellent as far as the community. The community is really nice. It's very enjoyable. And I was really surprised, we have, there's all these booths out here, and we have all these, old-timey knives, and they really are a stopper. People stop and they're like, what in the world are these things,
Yeah. I mean, it's getting now the younger generation now didn't even see their grandpas carrying them, you know what I mean? Their dads were carrying Benchmade.
Yeah.
So, it has changed an awful lot. And we noticed there was quite a lot of young ones at ours, and they didn't have as many tables of slip joints, but they had this one fella who had the whole corner of the top of the room, and he must buy them in bulk in boxes, and he literally had boxes of battered old ones right up to brand new cases that were new in box but were from the 60s, 70s, and he had thousands of them.
Did you hear the news?
No.
He died.
Oh no.
Yeah, seriously, he died. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, that's so sad.
I know.
I was just about to say I can't wait to go back next year.
He died. There was news on Facebook just last week.
didn't even see it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's terrible.
unbelievable.
Oh, well, God love his family. I'm not sure Robert's surname was.
It was Cuttings, Robert Cuttings.
yeah,
Yeah, it was the most appropriate knife for, or name for a knife salesman or a knife seller or enthusiast. It was just so sad to hear that, because he was so friendly, he was so accommodating, and he let us in behind the stall.
Just said, go behind the desk and get the boxes out.
And just open all the boxes, and he trusted us to do it. You know, it was always a lovely experience.
I'm really sad. So if his family will hardly be watching, but if somebody knows him, give them our best wishes, and I hope they're managing okay.
Yeah, well, that brought the mood down. Sorry about that. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon.
Let me finish the story.
Well, I did. I'll let you get to the end. But then we like a bit of drama there. So, what's next?
Well, I love my job. I love my.
I held my water for 20 minutes. Come on.
Well, you've held that question in for this long. Well done. But I do love my job. I do love my job, and I want to keep it. So
yeah,
be careful with the questions you ask. And if I
suppose the only reason to say is because, I mean, as you quite rightly said, Ben just couldn't hold his water on the little bro. He just had to tell people that it was coming. So are we going back to the secrecy and surprise then for December's drop?
I think that's probably the best way to explain that, secrecy and surprise. But I think people are starting to see, okay, like I think the gunslinger really threw everyone for a loop.
That's true.
I know it wasn't Steven's most.
We don't talk about Steven's taste and weird
but,
taste.
But to be honest with you, on reflection, thinking back on it, it shocked me, and I didn't get over the shock for about a month. Now I'm starting to think, well, maybe it wasn't that bad. If it didn't, for me, if it didn't have the flipper, no, it was. I didn't like the flipper. I would have liked just the thumb stud, because it looked more traditional to me. The flipper, and I like flipper knives, but not in traditionals yet. I haven't gone that far yet.
But see that. I mean, we disagree on this one, and we could go round the houses quite nicely with it, Donnie, because I did think it was a lovely marriage of the traditional and the modern, and I only like to make a thing of it because I was able to do the flipper and he couldn't, So I mean,
I just couldn't do that bloody flipper. I just couldn't do it.
Well, Steven, have you tried carrying the gunslinger without a clip? Have you tried removing the clip?
I didn't like it. I'm not averse to modern things, but that front flipper is just way beyond what I'm just not. I can't get that. There's nothing traditional about a front flipper to me. Look, I was proved wrong because it was one of the most successful, sales. So that's the joy of the knife world. One person can think it's the best thing since sliced bread, and the one beside him just doesn't get it. I just didn't get it that time. Now, whether I get it, the next time, I'm sort of willing to try, but.
Of course you're willing to try, but that's the thing about it. And I have to say this about you. I complain about you an awful lot of things, but you do give everything a fair shot.
Oh, I definitely. I don't mind giving it a shot at all. But yeah.
So, Donnie, what's been your favorite this year so far?
Wow, this year so far, man, it has been a wild year. And yeah, I know someone's asking for the next 12 months.
We're working up to it.
It is the hardest thing about this job is we have to know. We have to know what's planning out in 2024, and honestly, even to an extent, 2025. Believe it or not, we have an idea.
These are coming out every month. That's not an easy. I don't know anybody else that's doing it.
We are working on. I don't know if you stop and think about it, maybe like five different time zones. We're thinking about what's available at dealers. So what's already released, right? We're thinking about what's coming out. So we're thinking about the little bro. Okay. And then I'm thinking about what's coming up to do inspections. We're thinking about what the next shipment, there's a processes there where we have to inspect, we have to get ready for what's coming. We schedule out packaging for that next release. But then another time frame is also the next, let's say, 3 months, where you have knives who need produced. They have to be manufactured, and we have exchange there. And then we also have to think about, well, what's coming out beyond that, because we have to have materials ordered, like all of this, like the Kieranite, for instance. We had to order, we had to get that stuff available, I think 6 months in advance.
Well, Elan here has got a special request for you. So
what do we got?
We've got more of the blackout purple Kieranite.
Oh yeah, that turned out really well. Really well.
And it was that the one on the black blade as well. That was.
I don't have that one with me, but it was the laid back. It was all DLC coated, the blade, and then that purple Kieranite.
Yeah, that was another one he didn't like.
Too modern, right? Too modern looking.
No, it's not so much because I took this one, which is Kieranite as well. So I probably would have liked that Kieranite. I think probably it was. I'm not a great lover of swaybacks. Now I know Ben's is very, very gentle, but just to look at wise, they don't hit my eye. The only one I like is the wee tiny case one. The case swayback jack.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one here. It's the one, I think it's just a lovely little working knife. It's sort of a secondary knife.
Mm.
There's the wee case.
That's lovely. Yeah. That's
nice. I think that's lovely because I'm not worried how it feels in my hand if I want to do that.
Hold it up again.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Mm.
This is just a lovely second. I like them as a secondary knife because for whittling or something like that. But the larger ones,
and yet the swayback jack isn't a large knife. I mean, it's a beautifully proportioned knife. And I again, just to be disagreeable, I suppose.
But you see,
it's considerably bigger.
It is so much bigger than the wee case one. I mean, this is probably one of the most popular case knives too. Yeah. But none of them are over big.
No, but I have to. Yeah, that's your one. Oh, is that the dimpled titanium? You see,
I haven't tried one of them yet. I think I'm going to have to try one.
No, you need to. I was just going to say that.
I've got to from the subs rather than me. I've got to because I like them to see something of everything.
You see, this is where it comes on my particular prejudices now, Donnie. I don't like total titanium. I just don't agree with the whole. Well, it doesn't agree with me. It's not something to disagree with, but it's just me. It just gray. It just does nothing for me. Especially when you've got the option of some of the colors that you've been getting on those materials. Have just been amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try an all titanium one because just for my subs to see it up close and personal for those who don't get the chance to see it.
Now, is this a good sort of insight, Tony? Is it are you a very purple person or?
No, honestly, I don't. Let's see. I have one purple knife on me. I have the Vampire one, Purple Haze, but
nice
they don't stick around for me always. But I mean,
I've got the just to show more purple knives for a.
I like blue. Oh yeah,
that's nice in that. Now I have to say it's nice in that.
But as far as my favorites, I mean that's really difficult because I know I'm similar with Ben. I was gravitated beforehand as a consumer to Jack Wolf, just the differences. You have all the different blades, all the different handle shapes. But I'm really, really happy with these second runs, the version 2s, because I feel like that's really how Ben wanted them to be all along a little bit. Because you think about it, early on, you're kind of, you want to do well. You don't want to, you want to get in, you want to score. You don't necessarily, you're not going for a home run hit.
Yeah.
And I think now that we have a little bit of traction beneath us a little bit, I think he's starting to, reach out with these version 2s a little bit more. I mean, just like the rosewood, laid back, you're starting to get a little bit of.
And the introduction of, I think, Stephen, the introduction of the wood was a game changer. I think. I mean, I don't, and there's been a couple of comments in the chat that the ultimate divided opinion It was a risk, and I definitely think it was worth trying it, but neither of us particularly like the Ultim, and I think it's divided opinion in terms of that. But it seemed to be at the cutting edge. Everybody then seemed to get on an Ultim bandwagon. It was bizarre.
The only difference between the Ultim on the Jack Wolf knives and on the other modern knives was the modern knives had something underneath it. They had either holes or you could see the blade, whereas ours was just flat.
Yeah.
And I just didn't think it done the knife justice. Yeah. But the Ultim on other knives, on modern knives, looked really good when there was something to see.
Like the skeletonization of a...
It's like I always said, if there had been like a black wolf painted on the inside of the handle stamp, so you could see through the Ultim, that would have made it stand out a wee bit different.
It just a little insight behind that. It was the funniest thing because, you know, Ben, myself, it wasn't really our thing either. But we always saw it. We know you're on Instagram and you see all these Ultim knives, and we're just like, oh, should we try it? Should we try it? And we did. It was the most popular version of the Pioneer Jack.
Pioneer Jack. You see, that's the weirdest thing.
You cannot tell but
it does illustrate a very important thing. Is that our taste has got nothing to do with the current trend. We are not in any way at the cutting edge of fashion.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, well,
Paddy with Kieran.
But you do see a lot of those Ultim knives, like with maybe full DLC, or like you said, maybe relief cuts or whatever it is.
Yeah, but again, I that's the one thing I do like about Ben. He'll take a risk, but so far, like you're saying, the risks have been very few and far between until he got his name. Now he's got his name. I think we're going to start in the next, maybe a gradual progress this year, but I think the following year he's going to let himself go. I think, here we go.
That's a good guess.
With something completely different.
Watch the reaction. Yeah, are you even close? No, that's very good. Donnie, professional to the absolute hilt. I'm very impressed.
Because he's not somebody that will be stagnant. And in this business, especially, if you're stagnant, you're dead. You're gone. And within a year, if you muck up for a year, you'll never get your name back again, especially at the high end of the market, I think.
No, that's true. And I think what you're going to see, kind of like I was mentioning earlier with the gunslinger, you kind of got a taste of, okay, well, Ben has said a long time ago, it's Jack Wolf knives. I mean, I don't think we're going to get into the collectible samurai swords on the wall kind of thing.
No.
So you can maybe rule out a few things, but I think the sky's the limit. Our biggest issue, of course, is you only have so much time.
Yeah.
And
does that mean, Donnie, that given that Jack Wolf knives are 99% apart from the gunslinger slip joints? I mean, Nigel's asking here, what about variations on it, like friction folders?
I'm not sure if me and Ben have talked about that. I mean, I'm sure that's a possibility. We talked about backlocks. There's all kinds of different things that we could do. And what I love is whatever it is, if it's a friction folder, a backlock, more locking knives, it's cool to see the traditional designs into these other knife styles.
There's the backlock. I would love to see a Jack Wolf Life version of the Copperhead.
Copper lock.
Or copper lock, that's this. But they do a Copperhead as well, which is just a slip joint. So you could actually do a version of both in one drop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I mean, it's a beautiful pattern just because of the end cap and the bolster, and it's and that kind of hidden the tang hider thing, and it's just a fantastic one.
Again, I agree, because I could understand Ben in the beginning being very cautious because you're coming into a new realm. He'd never done it before, and I think it has taken this long to see what your market is. It's not something that's going to happen in 2 months or 3 months, especially when you're doing one knife a month. Just the work that goes into getting one knife a month done is horrendous. But yeah, I'm hoping he does branch out and do all sorts. I mean, he'd always said it wasn't going to be slip joints. He said he was going to start with slip joints.
Yeah.
But he had never said, oh, this is just genuinely all slip joints.
Well, and he's made it clear that slip joints are for him. For him. Because he enjoys them.
Yeah.
I mean, just for the record, I would definitely buy a Jack Wolf Samurai sword. I'm just saying. I mean, just saying.
Yes. Let's do it. We'll do a trio. Put it on the mantle.
Yeah, but only be about 6.5 inches long.
Yeah.
Two-handed for him.
And here we go. So, I mean, there's a good question in here, and I suppose it reflects on some of the stuff that we see in the and it's something I wanted to ask, and it's really about the anodization. You know, some of the custom work that we see on Instagram, Donnie. Who is doing that stuff?
Excellent question.
Oh, let me see.
Feel good, Jack.
Oh, that's just beautiful.
Look, is that sort of gold anodized?
It's like a desert tan or something, is it?
It's a gold anodize. I don't know if you could. It's hard to see.
I see the pins all gold.
Very nice.
The pins are all gold. And then you can see that a little bit.
And is that the gold carbon fiber that was on it? Because that's the
limoncello carbon. So it's yellow and black carbon fiber. Maybe that shows a little better.
No, it's
been dimpled. I don't know if you can see the.
Oh yeah, I can see the dimpling now. Look at that.
Yeah. I mean that's just stunning.
It's actually a company, or it's a guy and a gal who do all the modding. It's called Knife Modders. If you go on,
I know them. Yeah, it's a husband and wife there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And they do exceptional work. But a lot of these that they're showing off are going to be sold at the DLT. I think it's the 12 Days of Christmas sale.
Right. Oh, you heard it here first,
well,
folks.
They have done them at the Blade shows, didn't they? They sold some at the Blade shows.
We did this last year, so it's not necessarily a big surprise, but that's where they're going. We're looking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just think an anodization with a titanium top and an anodized color, block color, would even be nice. Yeah, that would be,
But some of the variations, I actually, I mean, I'm a sucker for the petrol variations. You know, that kind of petrol, different, where it's sort of.
You're looking like an oil slick.
Yes, an oil slick. That's what. So I kind of thing. I just think they look fantastic.
Once you start thinking of something, then your head just goes. You go, oh, that looks lovely. I would like that on. And then you got to try and think of you want it on.
It's a challenge, though, right? Because you think about, maybe from our perspective, we like this particular combination, but then someone doesn't, and now they have. What's nice about let's say like a plain Jane, like I have an example here. This is just smooth titanium, but someone could do their own anodization, or maybe have it shipped in to have it spec to their particular taste.
And I think people already have, and they've used the couple you're talking about and had their own pint, and they've looked absolutely smashing. Maybe not my taste, but they actually look amazing. And everybody's spec, when you're doing something customized, it's exactly what you like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very hard to hit something that everybody's going to like, or a large majority, which you're going to need.
I just find it hilarious that it's been less than 2 years, and people have already found a way to pimp up these knives. I mean, which are fantastic looking knives in their own right. But all of
this guy to the best you can.
I think that is beautiful. That knife is just gorgeous.
Side point for this, and I don't have a way to show you. Maybe I have a video, but River at Sage Grouse Leather, who does the slips.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's making me a black alligator slip. With gold stitching, with the gold stitching. So if you pimp my slip,
are the slips going to be in stock for Christmas?
Oh, look at that!
Nice. That's.
Now, the big question is, do you have a pair of boots to go with that?
That's next. I need to get that for Blade Texas.
Now that would be something special, Donnie. Absolutely.
Here's another question for you, which I think is a good one. Has your love of knives gone up since you moved into the business?
Ooh.
Or have you changed your thought process about what you want to buy now rather than what you would have bought beforehand?
Good question. I would definitely say it's gone up because I appreciate it more, I think.
Yeah.
Because you see all the effort that goes into it. And now, sadly, like my eye is looking at customs and all the, like have you heard of Birdvis slip joints?
Yeah. Oh, good gosh. Even to get on his books would be a joy.
I know. I met him at Blade Show, and he had a few. He's using these vintage micartas, and he's got like Soviet era micarta. Yeah. He's got one that was it was taken from a plane propeller. And
I can remember him just doing mods in his house
mm,
when he first started on YouTube. I can remember watching him doing mods and making that first design. His first Birdvis design was just amazing, and he
Yeah.
just went bang. Nearly immediately, he started doing full time. His learning process was so fast.
Wow.
and I think it's just built an appreciation for the level of work that goes into it.
His
You know,
Friday night.
it's a labor of love. You know, I mean,
Oh.
I see what Ben goes through, and
Yeah.
the design, the effort that it takes to do all this, and it's not a cash grab. I mean, I know for a fact these guys aren't, you know, filling their
They're not
swimming pool
millionaires.
with gold coins and
Yeah, well, I mean, I have to say, we always say it in terms of when we're talking about the marketing of knives and everything like that, and the way that YouTube is a really good way of marketing knives to a very niche market, because it's very, very specifically targeting the people who are going to be your customers. But at the same time, I mean, that's a small niche we're talking about. I mean,
Absolutely.
you're not going to get horrendously rich, you know, Buffett type rich making knives for people. Yeah, it has to be a labor of love, really, doesn't it?
And I think them custom makers who are in the shop by themselves all day, making the designing, doing everything themselves, I take my hat off to them. That has got to be hard work. I mean, the family life must be affected terribly, because you can imagine if you're needing money for something, you just stay out in the garage till you've got it made.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to.
Yeah. And as far as manufacturing is concerned, there's so much time and effort that goes into this that could be used on a higher profit margin product.
Yeah.
And what's interesting with the marketing of a knife, we think of like what Ben's been doing with YouTube, right? That's really nice, sending knives out to reviewers. But the reality is, if that wasn't in place, we'd have no other medium to advertise.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting on social media, many don't realize we can't run ads. We just can't. We're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Because these are weapons,
Jeez.
right? You know, this is a deadly weapon right here, or whatever.
Yeah. I know it is.
And my 8-inch kitchen chef knife is not.
Yeah, exactly. You can advertise that. Yeah.
I mean, it makes no sense to man their beast. It's somebody sitting in the office with a tick. Got them on that. Let's see something else. Tick.
Yeah.
The discussion, that mindless debate, of what's the difference between a weapon and a tool.
Britain is so good at making arms for other countries. We can make planes, we can make arms for other countries of mass destruction, but a knife is, oh my goodness, how bad are you?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a tool. It's not a weapon. It's a tool. A weapon it's either very specific.
A weapon is here,
or it has intent, or you need intent to. But anything's a weapon, for crying out loud. I know. I've watched John Wick. I could kill a man with this remote control.
But it is. I mean, a weapon is in the head. It's not in the hand. The hand is just what you've got.
It's all about intent.
Yeah,
it really is.
Just,
and I think that's the thing that bothers us most, because most of the Egypts in the chat here, like us, doing this, we're about as harmless. We're about as harmless as you possibly could get.
Very true. Paddy.
The very definition, Tony.
Yeah, you're banned, Tony. Cheerio. Thank you very much. Time out, 3 years.
Classic.
Oh,
very good. Very good, Tony. You get the prize tonight.
Oh man.
What's Byron saying?
Byron was just saying that he saw which is NW Estate, Donnie?
I'm not sure.
It's Northwest.
Yeah,
Northwest.
Well, but anyway, they made a pair of workbooks with a pouch for $1.110. Now, an alligator pair with a JWK pouch. That would be awesome.
Alligator slippers.
Ooh,
I'd buy them for $1.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can that be a tax write-off somehow? You know,
well, so once you get past the animal rights people about alligators, Ken, yeah, then we can talk about tax write-off.
I'm the cuddly one, by the way. I see you all picking on me in the comments. I'm the bloody cuddly one.
That's right. That's right.
He's like a hidden weapon. He looks all angelic. He's nasty.
I'm Santa's little helper. We're getting into the seasonal kind of stuff now. So,
Well,
which
I saw
reminds me-
earlier in the chat, someone asked about this this drum kit here. This is actually this is Kim's. Kim's the drummer.
Oh, right.
Really?
She's exceptional. She's an exceptional drummer.
Does she play in groups, or has she in the past?
Not so much in groups. She's played with me a little bit. I play guitar. I played since
Right.
I was a kid and used to teach. I used to do music lessons a little bit. And
I'm really jealous. I've always wanted to play an instrument. I tried guitar, couldn't get it.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do for the Christmas show is we'll get the pair of you on and we'll do a rendition of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana, okay? Which is classic drum guitar.
Hey diddly dee.
We're not doing "Hey Diddly Dee." We're not
We
that
want-
kind of Irish.
We want an
okay?
Irish hey diddly dee. The Pogues.
But Donnie, I mean, you've got actually that's a good point. You've got Thanksgiving coming up in a couple of weeks. So are you going to be heading home for it, or are you staying there?
Nope. Actually, my wife and I we don't celebrate even Thanksgiving, so we're gonna stick around home, and I think I'm gonna try to do a little bit of hiking. I think I'm gonna take the opportunity to get out.
What's the temperature right there now?
It's been beautiful. Today's 75 degrees, and it's
Wow.
actually
Okay.
so in Phoenix. You'll know that people are actually excited when they have cloudy days. It's a cloudy day today.
Oh, I could imagine that. I'd be the same. I would just live in a fridge.
Oh yeah.
I'm naturally Irish white, and I don't want to change. I just
That's
thought
my
of something
heritage
that
as
bores
well.
me to
And
death.
you see the red on me is just from so much.
No.
Yeah. No, we can rock the pallor. It's that's why we can't carry Vampire Jacks. It's
Says he's just back from Portugal.
Spain.
Spain.
Oh dear God, what have I
That's a great idea, Randy. Go up to Flagstaff before it gets too cold. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Where's Flagstaff? Is that Canada?
Just about an hour and a half north in Arizona.
All right.
You're not getting too far from the Grand Canyon up there, and beautiful country up there.
Yeah, it's. I was very lucky. I traveled up and down both sides of America. I didn't get into Central America because it was on ships, so we just stopped at different ports all the way around. I was in the Navy. Yeah. So I love America. It's my favorite place in the world. Out of all the places I've been to, and I've been to a fair few, America was just the one I loved the most. And I'm not saying that for my American subs. They're not particularly nice. But I mean, when I visited America, I was treated like a king. Honestly, it was just so. Oh, there's my wee doggy giving off. Right, I've got to let him out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come on then, pups. Good boy. Let you go. That's a good boy.
Oh yeah,
Come on.
we're getting rid of
Right.
the rest of the family.
Come
So
on. Here, come on. Come
we've
on.
got the
Boys.
little bro jack dropping tomorrow. Okay.
Mhm.
So give us the rundown on that drop then, Donnie.
Oh my! You had to ask specifics. All I know is the time is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific.
Hit me, love.
Oh, you guys are having a good time.
What the hell have
The
nothing?
room's not big enough for Paddy and me. That's the trouble. Sorry, Donnie. Beg your pardon. Go ahead.
No. I'm just gonna double check our time so I don't get anything mixed up.
Well, while you're checking that, I'll tell the people in UK it's at Frame Our Knives as normal. It's the only place in the UK you can get them. It goes live at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Be there early because if your color is a popular one, I can guarantee you it won't be there 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
The first sort of three, normally the most popular, seem to go really, really fast in that first night. But sometimes the next day, if you think, oh, well, mine's not there, I'll get it the next day, they can just change all of a sudden and then it's gone. So always go early. If you're going to get one, just be early.
And it's hard too because you never know which one's gonna be
No.
the most popular. You could be thinking Kieranite, and then the rosewood disappear. And it's what's interesting. We notice there's a little bit of difference in popularity when you start crossing, the borders. You start going to different countries. Different countries like things a little differently.
Oh, and is there any pattern coming out of it in terms of which countries prefer which things?
To us, it seems like maybe the little more traditional styling is a little more popular in Europe than it is in the States. The flashier colors, I don't know, if do a little bit better over here. I don't know.
Yeah, I could believe that because it's traditional is really just starting to come back here.
Hmm.
I mean, we had lost all our old traditional knife makers in the UK, so people had sort of stopped thinking of traditional as a something to chase after, something of a. It's sort of everybody had thought it was in the past, but this last few years, it's really starting to grow. I mean, that's why I went back to doing mostly traditionals because I was in the modern folders in the beginning as well. I started from budget and worked my way up like yourself. You get each time you get a more expensive one, you say, "Damn, that was worth it," and then you want the next one. It's a horrible hobby to get into because you do end up at custom. No matter if you stay in it long enough, you'll end up at custom. Because there is a difference, and that's the sad part. But it's over here. It is really starting to catch up. America with the colors. I think you're right, but I like the colors. I even like in my traditional knives, my GEC. I like the red bones, the yellows. I like all them different colors. But then again, I've been going a couple of years. A lot of people and a lot of the modern knife lovers who are changing over to like a slip joints, they still have that sort of, like you were saying, getting it anodized, getting things. They've been doing that to their modern knives for years. It's now just starting to hit, and it's like everything. It takes a while to. Every country's not going to be the same. But what I would say is, would be interesting to see is if I must actually speak to Ben. It would be interesting to see what's more slow here, and me maybe to get that knife style to bring it in so that people get that close up look at it and hear what I've got to say. That might be an interesting way to go.
Yeah, just to sort of push the difference.
Yeah,
a little bit more. But
maybe go for the lighter ones.
Donnie, just in terms of what are the colors and matches? I mean, I'm just following it on Instagram and everything. It just seems to be that there's quite a good range with the
it is.
Baby Bro or the.
Yeah, we've done. I think we've done really well with selecting our colors here. We have a range. We have this one we've never done before, which this is.
Hold on, let me bring you up there, Donnie. Go.
This is called Flow Party by.
It's got a kind of pink in it.
By Camo Carbon. It's like an orange. I don't know if you can see the orange in there. It's hard to focus, but all this the stuff by Camo Carbon is actually fluorescent, so you get a black light, and this stuff glows like mad. We're also doing fat carbon again in Nebula, so this is kind of like a red, black, and blue and white.
Yeah, I've got two in that pattern, and I just think it's a sort of pattern I could just have a whole set of them, but I've stopped now. And
yeah, my Feel Good Jack is in the fat carbon. It's gorgeous.
Yellow.
Yeah, and I think that's White Storm. Yeah, that's just the black and white. That looks great. And then we have the fat carbon dark matter copper.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that's what the original Little Bro came in.
Is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fat carbon.
Yeah, the dark matter gold and copper do really well.
It is nice.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got the wood, and then you've got the Kieranite, and then do you have the titanium as well in the Little Bro?
Nope, just all those are the five. We have rosewood, Kieranite, copper, Flow Party, and Nebula.
Okay, so you heard it here, guys. Get your orders in. For MA, who was asking what the discount code is, the discount code is not on your life. What
do you think this is, Rough Rider? You blooming heathen.
Well, there might be something.
Hello, Gus. Lovely to see you here, buddy.
All the good to see you, lads. So yes, get your orders in as quick as you can if you're interested. The Little Bro, it's taking its time coming around again, and it's good to see it here.
I said it on my video today. This is probably definitely my favorite knife so far. I am just loving this. It's the perfect size. I like a GEC number 15 pattern, as you know, which is 3 3/8 inches long in the handle. This is just over that, and it really gives a large hand a full grip, a comfortable full grip to do power work or anything. This does me. I don't need anything bigger than this ever, really. And
an interesting one that I've seen in some of the pairings is a lot of people have been pairing the Big Bro and the Little Bro, which is just a fantastic sort of, it's a poetic matchup, really.
But I have to say, really into the Kieranite, surprised how much I've liked that. So I think the next, well, I don't know about Christmas, but the one after Christmas.
Oh, yes, very nice. It does look well. It works well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it doesn't look as if there's that much difference, but you see when you put them in hand, the big throw is a much more beefy knife. Nice knife. Yeah. And the other one that I thought, you were talking about knives that might be coming back. What about Ben's cyborg, Jack? Is he going to do
you see, we left it to the last 5 minutes, Donnie.
Man, well done. Well done.
He said he was going to bring them back.
We've been softening you up for 55 minutes now, so this is it.
You need to butter me up a little bit more than that, Come on. There's some compliments my way.
Another new one to come this time.
What was that, Donnie? Sorry,
I said you got to butter me up a little more. Throw some compliments. Come on,
We torture, we plague, we bamboozle, we whatever.
Yeah. Just tell us to shut us up.
So we were just talking about that briefly before we went live. It was this time last year that Cyborg came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was somewhere.
So, given that we're going back to surprise kind of tactics. Oh, you see, there's his tail. There's his tail. There's his tail.
My imaginary beard here. Yep.
I think his next week wage rise is depending on him not giving it away.
Somebody mentioned earlier, actually, that Ben is lurking in the chat, watching your performance, Donnie. So I don't want you getting paranoid or anything.
You got a burner account in here.
No matter when I put a video up, Ben is there. Bang.
Yep, exactly.
Again, how he has the time to do that, I have no idea.
And I think the second runs they're just gonna happen. The issue is, of course, time. We have only 1 month at a time, and we just like to have the element of surprise in our favor. So.
And to be honest with you wouldn't want to go more than one knife per month. That is, to me, exhausting. I mean, that is just about the limit of what people can take in their head. What's that?
How did you know? There he is. I knew you were here, man.
Hello, Ben. I hope you're feeling good. Now get out.
He's banned.
Yeah.
The real question is, am I fired? Did I say anything wrong? What did I do?
You haven't told us a bloody thing yet.
Yeah, I know. Tell us something. I mean, you may as well make it worth your
while.
We'll
get him after it's over.
Yeah.
We'll get him in an arm lock after it's over.
The Jack Wolf machete is dropping in December.
The next blade.
The Jack Wolf katana will be on our Christmas list. Yes, definitely.
Now, I hope you're doing well, Ben. It's nice to see you, mate. And get back to work soon. You're missed in the chat around the world.
Now, we do have a certain amount of conspiracy theories going on here. Ghost Malone is starting to spread the rumor that you're actually a Scooby-Doo villain and come on, do the big reveal and pull the mask off, Donnie. That's what we're looking for.
No, you see, this is the thing. Donnie is the nice guy. It's his wife we've got. That's why she's not on. I could see it in her eyes the last time she was on.
Well, because I do a lot of the content creation on Instagram, pictures, and we do these memes and different things. And Kim she's my critic. She's like, that wasn't that funny. You need to.
Oh, they are.
All the wives and that doesn't matter whether you're at work or not.
Well, I have to say, and I know we haven't had a chance to talk about that, Donnie, so forgive us for that because
no problem.
Honestly, the content that you're putting out there is always entertaining and it's always worth watching. So you keep up the good work and tell Ben from us that you're not getting paid enough. Because, and I mean, and this whole notion of him paying you in knives is probably in breach of several kind of laws. So I'm not sure that they're legal tender in most places. Although one day they will be.
See, that's our goal, right? One day.
Yeah. Bartering for knives. That's the way to get your food.
Look, Donnie, thank you very much for joining us. We're coming up on an hour, and when we said we'd keep it tight to an hour, and God knows I can't stand it much more of this guy enough, here. Yeah. I could talk to you all night, but this guy, you know what it's like. But Donnie, absolute joy talking to you. Give the big man our best.
And thank you to everybody in the chat. You've been wonderful. Thank you so much.
I think that's a little bit too much information, Ben. I think we should be reporting him to Human Resources personally.
That's a breach of our contract right there. Talk to HR. You need to talk to HR.
And anyway, Ben, we both know that Donnie's missus is going to be the final judge on that. So we leave that one right there.
Thank you, fellas.
Donnie, absolute pleasure.
Really
You
was
take it
lovely,
easy.
yeah.
Hang out there for a minute afterwards, and more to the point, see if Ben can come on and we'll say all the best to him. Fellas in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, we didn't get our usual chance to go down the name list.
No, we just got carried away there.
But everybody has been contributing like mad, and thank you very much for joining us once again on our Thursday night special.
What are you doing with the buttons?
I have no idea what I've just done, but it is weird. I've zoomed in. There we go. There we go.
Yes. What have you done again?
I don't know.
It's a computer, only does what you tell it.
I keep on moving stuff. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. See you soon.
See you next week.
All the best.
If you go and check the video about today too, by the way, if you're not there, go and like it, subscribe, say something, share it with your friends, do the whole ish. It's a good video today. You'll really miss it. You really miss it?
Like it.
Like it. Yeah, that's it. Right. Take care. Bye-bye now.
All the best, folks.
Fellas.
Bye.